Ours was the first revolution in the history of mankind that truly reversed the course of government, and with three little words: we, the people. Our Constitution is a document in which we, the people, tell the government what it is allowed to do.
Okay, so the first question is, who are you voting for in this election?
Hillary.
Hillary Clinton.
Nobody.
Probably Hillary Clinton, because Donald Trump has been making a fool of himself lately. It's just kind of, it's hard to take him serious with all this, building a wall.
That's a good question. Probably Hillary Clinton.
You have voted for out of all of the candidates that were running?
Bernie Sanders.
Bernie.
Is definitely who I was hoping to come through.
I deny that the American people have surrendered to any set of men, no matter what their position or their character, the final right to determine those fundamental questions upon which free self-government ultimately depends. The people themselves must be of their own constitution.
As far as social issues go, I think that it's the obvious choice. I consider myself a progressive, but definitely more liberal than conservative. Also, I just think that the position is not something to be taken lightly, and I think Donald Trump is not somebody that the rest of the world would take seriously.
Because I don't think any of the people that ran for president are the right people for their job or are going to bring this country back to the way it should actually be brought back.
Plus, she does have some good ideas, and would be the first female president, and that's always a good for change.
Mostly to stop any chance of Donald Trump from taking office.
Take your poison, lesser of two evils, I suppose.
It's the lesser of two evils.
What she said.
Okay.
I just think that with Trump, I can't agree with so much of what he says.
Right.
I don't agree with it as a woman. I do not care for him.
Right.
And having a daughter, I don't want to have him as president.
The thing we have to fear is fear itself.
The major issue, I think, inwardly, I think it is definitely, there's a race issue that hasn't totally been addressed. Outwardly, I think it's how we have chosen to be the police of the rest of the world.
I think terrorism and warfare and that kind of stuff.
Jobs are okay, but yeah, the ISIS and everybody worrying about if the country's still going to be around and who we're going to get attacked by next.
I'd say people's civil rights and constitutional rights.
I think either global warming or economic inequality.
Occasionally, I see you're walking down a sidewalk and you see someone yell at someone for complete unreasonable reasons because they're not walking fast enough or something. So.
Over entitled candidacy.
Fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
I'd keep Obama around for 4 more years. He'd be part of my panel.
I don't know, honestly. I really don't know. Something has to be worked out with all the terrorists as well as, the different countries making some sort of amends, I guess.
There's been a lot going on, a lot of bad things happening. So it'd be good to start a few things to, I suppose, make things a bit happier. Just more activities for people, I guess. More activities around here, more fun things to focus on.
I wouldn't want to be president for the issues that I mentioned. I think I would spend more of our budget on infrastructure. I think that's the best job creator out there and the best way to prepare us for the future, because there's a lot of people who are going to lose jobs as technology grows and people are starting to get replaced by machines at low wage jobs. And so I think investing in infrastructure and investing in trade jobs and fixing education would probably be my priorities.
I'd fund NASA, first of all. Second of all, that's hard to say. A few things differently. I wouldn't. I would decrease the military strength. I would not. I would not allow for. Decreasing military strength. I think also prison and jail reform, drug reform, education reform. But I think those are huge. Those are huge issues that one president can't just solve.
Office a little more.
And
I don't know. Good answer.
right.
I make this country about people's freedoms, rights, and privileges under the Constitution of the United States.
Neither one you can. It's too bad you have to pick the lesser of two evils instead of having the one that you're really positive about.
Chapter of St. Luke it is written, the kingdom of God is within man, not one man nor a group of men, but in all men, in you the people have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You the people have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power, let us all unite, let us fight for a new world, a decent world, that will give men a chance to work, that will give youth a future and old age a security. By the promise of these things, brutes have risen to power, but they lie. They do not fulfill that promise. They never will. Dictators free themselves, but they enslave the people. Now let us fight to fulfill that promise. Let us fight to free the world, to do away with national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. Let us fight for a world of reason, a world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness.